Became necessary, and I made the decision to evacuate the 3rd precinct.
Breaking overnight, protesters in Minneapolis take over and then set fire to a police department precinct. That was the mayor you just heard from talking about the danger. Demonstrators also set fire to several other buildings in the area where George Floyd died in police custody on Monday. And breaking out of Minneapolis right now, buildings are still on fire this morning. Our newsroom has been keeping an eye on live pictures all morning long. This right here was the scene just about 10 minutes ago. And then take a look at these live pictures we're getting in from Minneapolis this morning. Now, we don't have control of the cameras, so you might see it bouncing around a little bit here. But we just wanted to give you a look at what we have been seeing this morning. You can see smoke in the air. Fires still burning, and protesters are still in the streets with police keeping them back in riot gear. Again, this is a very active situation on the streets of Minneapolis. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday morning. I'm Marissa Hollowed.
And I'm Paige Halsey. Now we want to get to our Alyssa Toomey in the control room this morning, tracking this developing story. Alyssa?
Yeah, Paige and Marissa, right now, Minneapolis and the neighboring St. Paul are under a state of emergency. You saw those shocking images that we're getting in this morning. Now, overnight, people also took to the streets. They're still there. This all marks the 3rd night of violent protests over the death of George Floyd. Now, Floyd, take a look who you see here, died Monday while handcuffed in police custody. Footage that shows a police officer pinning him down with a knee on Floyd's neck has sparked national outrage. Take a look at these new images coming into our newsroom. This is the Minneapolis Police Department's 3rd precinct building on fire. It is not far from where Floyd died, and it's where the 4 officers involved in Floyd's arrest worked before they were fired. A spokesperson for the Minneapolis police says all staff was evacuated from the building around 10 p.m. Here's Mayor Jacob Frey's response to this shocking violence.
What we have seen over the past several hours and the past couple of nights in terms of looting is unacceptable.
While Frey condemned that violence, as you heard there, he also acknowledged this is a result of so much built-up anger and sadness. His reaction page is definitely a contrast from what we saw President Trump tweeting overnight.
Yeah, and Alyssa, the mayor did respond to the president's comments.
Yeah, first let me show you what President Trump had to say on Twitter. Again, this was late last night, early this morning. He said, quote, "I can't stand back and watch this happen to a great American city, a total lack of leadership." He goes on to say the mayor, quote, "better get his act together." Here's how Mayor Frey responded.
Weakness is refusing to take responsibility for your own actions. Weakness is pointing your finger at somebody else during a time of crisis. Donald Trump knows nothing about the strength of Minneapolis. We are strong as hell. Is this a difficult time period? Yes, but you better be damn sure that we're going to get through this.
The Minnesota National Guard has activated 500 soldiers to that area as at least 170 businesses have been damaged. This is not the only place where protests broke out overnight. Protesters also took to the streets in cities across the country, including Phoenix, Denver, and New York. Coming up in our next half hour, I'll